सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक्प्राणश्चक्षुश्रोत्रम् अथो बलमिन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्मोपनिषदम् माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम् मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत् अनिराकरणमस्तु अनिराकरणं मे अस्तु तदात्मनि निरते य उपनिषत्सु धर्माः ते मयि सन्तु ओम शांति शांति शांति। सा ब्रह्मेति होवाच ब्रह्मणो वा एतद्विजये महीयध्वमिति ब्रह्मणो वा एतद्विजये महीयध्वमिति ततो हैव विदाञ्चकार ब्रह्मेति तस्माद् वा एते देवाः अतितरामिव अन्यान् देवान् यदग्निर्वायुरिन्द्रस्ते ह्येनन्नेदिष्टं पस्पर्शुः ते ह्येन प्रथमो विदाञ्चकार ब्रह्मेति तस्माद् वा इन्द्रः अतितरामिव अन्यान् देवान् स ह्येनन्नेदिष्टं पस्पर्शः स ह्येन प्रथमो विदाञ्चकार ब्रह्मेति तस्यैष आदेशः यदेतद् विद्युतः व्यद्युतदा इति न्यमीमिषदा इति अधिदैवतम् अथाध्यात्मम् यद्येतद् गच्छतीव च मनः अनेन च एतद् उपस्मरति अभीक्ष्णं संकल्पः। So we saw that Indra was taught by Uma, this Brahma Vidya. Then Indra and Agni and Vayu, all of them excelled because they were the ones who went very near Brahman, and also later on they came to know Swarupa of Brahman. Amongst all of them, again Indra is the most exalted, or he excels the most because he was the first to know this Brahman and also approach it very closely. Like this it is said. And then couple of analogies are given again to drive home the fact that Brahman cannot be known as an object. So Brahman is like a flash of a lightning, it is said. That is because you cannot directly look at the lightning. And even if you try to look at the lightning, what happens? Your eyes will instinctively close. So that is also mentioned here, only to point out that you cannot objectify this Brahman. It cannot be known as an object. So that is the whole teaching is actually revolving around that, to only point out that Brahman is not away from yourself, the subject. It is of the very nature of the subject. And then, so up to this point said that with reference to the Devatas, now it has been revealed that they also had to know this Brahman. They do not know automatically. They have to make an effort to know this Brahman, and they also had to then learn it from somebody. Uma herself had to come and teach Indra. Then Indra had to further teach the other Devatas. Like this, even among Devatas, there is a parampara is there, correct? Brahma Vidya, Sampradaya and parampara is there. And Devas themselves have taught the Manusyas also, correct? Like Yama teaching Nachiketa. Yes. Like this, there is a Sampradaya. And other rishis teaching other human beings also is there. If you take Mundakopanishad and all that, there also in fact start from Brahmaji. Brahmaji taught Angiras, and then Angiras taught others like that. In all the Upanishad, the Guru Shishya Parampara is also pointed out. In fact, in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, there are whole sections, or one Brahmana itself, which only talks about the Vamshanukathanam, it is called. Who are all the rishis who had this knowledge? That whole Vamsha is mentioned, many names are mentioned actually. So like this, that is important. This Jnanam is coming in a parampara. It is a lineage, and that lineage, whoever is coming in that lineage also has the teaching methodology. That is most important. It's not that you know, that alone is not enough. Everybody who knows cannot be a teacher also, correct? Teaching means there is a certain methodology, and that methodology you should know how to teach. So that is also very important. So this Adi Daivatam is over. Then Adhyatmam also, it is mentioned that the mind wants to know this Brahman, means it again tries to go near this Brahman. Gachati Iva, it is said. But mind also cannot objectify this Brahman. But going near this Brahman means what? It is Shravanam, we have to understand, correct? How can you go near the Brahman? Only by studying Brahma Vidya, by going to a Guru and listening to the Shastra Upadesha Guru Mukhat. From the Guru, you have to listen to the Shastra Upadesha. That's how your mind can even go near this Brahman, correct? Because this Brahman is anyway not available through any other means of knowledge. You cannot stumble upon Brahman or anything like that, because it is your very own Swarupa. You can never stumble upon this Brahman. So, and then even after you go near this Brahman, you hear the pramana and all that, there can be doubts, can be there. So you have to, so that is mentioned here as etad upasmarati, means you have to, whatever is taught, any doubts which are there, you have to then use upapatti, some supporting logic to assimilate the teaching. And more importantly, you have to use logic to all other whatever opinions are there which are confusing you, correct? Which have the capability to confuse you otherwise, because so many things are floating around, so many ideas are floating around. Not all of them are Vaidika ideas, or even those who claim Vaidika, that we are Vaidika also, they are also having confusion. So you have to be able to see through the fallacy in their thought process, correct? Whatever they are telling you, we don't have to condemn anybody or anything, but at least for your own sake, you should be able to see the fallacy. Okay, just big names and all that is not enough, correct? When it comes to the truth, we should be able to dispassionately analyze, and if there is in fact, even if you are not able to see the fallacy yourself, your Guru will point out the fallacies in all other competing, whatever is there, correct, opinions which are floating around, and you should be able to see it at least then, correct? Because as I told you, Shastra is there coming for many years now. Each Acharya has addressed all these concerns, whatever was the prevalent ideas at that time which are not in keeping with this teaching, they have addressed all that. That's why during Shankara's time, Purva Mimamsaka was the greatest opponent, okay? Although he has also addressed Buddhists and others in some places. Later on, if you see, other acharyas like Madhusudana Saraswati and all these people, for them Naiyayikas are the greatest Purva Pakshi. Because Nyaya and Navya Nyaya was there, something called Navya Nyaya, that became very popular in between. And their views had to be again rejected, whatever is not in keeping with this teaching. Again, the beauty with Advaitins is what we accept everything which helps us or which is not against the Veda. So whether it is Yoga Darshana or Sankhya or even Nyaya, everything, in fact, first in traditional studies, first thing they teach you is Nyaya only, because to give you a certain intellectual rigor, correct? How to think, how to reason, all these things you get by studying the Nyaya Shastra, and also the jargon. The Nyaya people are the one who give us all the technical words which we also use. So Nyaya you have to study. Then Mimamsa also you have to study. Why? Even though Purva Mimamsaka we do not accept, but they give us the tools for interpreting the Veda Vakyas. Purva Mimamsakas are even now studied even by our lawyers and all that, legal people, because even how to interpret laws, your constitution, it is all interpretation, correct? And the principles which are involved in interpreting a text, a section, whatever it is, or a group of sentences, correct? And forming an ekavakyata and all they say, correct? What is it really trying to convey? If you have a book or a chapter or a few sentences, whatever it may be, what is it trying to convey really? Because just knowing the meaning of the word is not enough, correct? See, even the examples are all like this, correct? Let me give you one simple example. The son wants to go out and eat somewhere, correct? He goes to the father and says, I want to go to so and so place and eat. Father doesn't like it, he doesn't want this fellow to go, and so he says, it is better that Visham Phungshvai, he says. You can eat poison. Go and eat poison instead, he says. Now what that sentence literally we cannot take, correct? What is the vivaksha or what is the intention of the speaker is more important than anything else. Just the meaning of the words is not going to give you the whatever is to be or whatever is being conveyed, correct? So that is why we have to consider many things and arrive at the meaning always. So these things are all the Mimamsakas are giving us. So both Nyaya and Mimamsa are important. First we study the Tarka Sangraha, Artha Sangraha, all these. There are some introductory texts even for those darshanas. And some people even study Sankhya also, because even Bhagavad Gita uses lot of Sankhya terms, correct? Even like Prakriti, Purusha, all these things, Gunas, Trigunas, these are all from Sankhya. Mahad, Ahankara, they have their own some theory of evolution also, how the creation has evolved. So all these three, with Sankhya we include Yoga also, because this Yoga Darshana is useful as a sadhana also for us, because Ashtanga Yoga, the sadhanas are all given Yama Niyama, Asana Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dhyana. Okay, all these things are important for us. So, we take all whatever is useful to us from all the darshanas. But whatever is their final Siddhanta is all a problem, because they are all Dvaitis at the end of the day. Okay? So we have to reject that. Now all these things you should be able to see. Then only you will understand the Siddhanta, because they all have the potential to come and confuse you. Is that clear? Because all these ideas are floating around always. So that's why this Shravana Manana Nididhyasanam. Even after you are clear about this knowledge, the Prarabdha is Balavat. All the samskaras which you have is Balavat. There is no denying that fact. Means any insight has to be repeated. Otherwise it's not going to transform you. The idea is not to just get factual knowledge, correct? You are not studying Vedanta to get a degree or PhD or some certificate. It's not a certificate course or anything, correct? It is for yourself. That means this study has to transform you. If it has to transform you, whatever insight you are gaining has to be repeated. Only repeated insight can transform you. Because one of the things we always hear is what? Everything is clear in the class. Okay. When I sit in the class, everything is clear. As soon as I leave the class and go to the dining hall for breakfast, you see the food, then only everything is gone. Even if you see the food, you have to say ahamannam, ahamannam, ahamannam. Correct. You are the anna, ahamanna. So I am also the one who is eating the food. That is the vision. But it doesn't happen. You see the food. What is this? Every day they are giving only idli sambar here. One day, if it is sandwich, it will be better.
Idli sambar is good. Idli sambar is
For you, idli sambar is good. Okay. Somebody else will say, why there is no paratha? Okay. Paratha is better. Puri. One day, why don't they have puri? Even if they have puri, the masala has no masala really. It is so bland. Another fellow says, no, it is too much masala, I am not able to have. So whatever is there, somebody is having a problem. But that's how it is. So, this whatever insight you gain, it has to be repeated. Abhikshnam, it is said, correct? We saw all this. Abhikshnam sankalpa. Abhikshnam means keep on repeating it. So then what? Okay, all this is there. But again, Shruti normally in any Upanishad also, not only Brahma Vidya is given, Upasanas are also given. Because Upasanas are an important part in the whole pursuit for you to gain certain disposition of your mind. Okay. The Upasanas help you to have Chitta Naischalya, focus, one-pointedness, all these things. So right now, after having talked about all this Brahma Vidya, Shruti is going into a Upasana here. And from this, whatever the Upasana it says, even whatever currently we are doing, correct? Nowadays, most people are not doing any of the Upasanas which are mentioned in the Upanishads, correct? In Taittiriya Upanishads, Shikshavalli, only so many Upasanas are there, Vyahriti Upasana, correct? Even the Omkara Upasana and all is there. But nobody is doing all that. Even here now and in Brihadaranyaka also, Saguna Brahma Upasana is given. So many Upasanas are given and immediately the Phala for the Upasanas are also given. As a Mumuksha, of course, you may not be interested in the Upasana Phala, but still the Upasana, doing Upasana is helpful. But nowadays we are doing the same Upasana differently, we can say. Okay, that also we'll see. So now what is this Upasana here? Tadha Tadvanam Nama Tadvanamit Upasitavyam Saya etad evam vedabhihi vedabhi. There should be a Veda. Hainam sarvani bhutani samvanchanti. So tadha tadvanam nama. So now Brahman is this tadha, that Brahman indeed. Tadha means, and it is given a name, Tadvanam Nama. Tadvanam means what? That which is most sought after and all that, correct? That which is something which attracts everybody. Okay, because Brahman is anyway Ananda Swarupa. Even the word Krishna means Karshati iti. Krishna means one who draws you towards himself, one who attracts. Like that here Brahman is the one, the most, what to say, Shobhanam, you can say, correct? That which is always auspicious and that which is sought after by everybody. Tadvanam. In fact, this Tadvanam is similar to Varenyam also. Even in the Gayatri mantra, Tat Savitur Varenyam we say, correct? This Tadvanam and Varenyam are all somewhat. Varenyam also that which is worship worthy, or that which is worthy of pursuing. All these things, meanings are there. So this Brahman alone is like that. That's because the Brahma Swarupa itself is like that, correct? Or Brahman as Ishvara also is Tadvanam we can take, because Ishvara is Ananta Kalyana Guna Sampannaha we have to take. Ishvara is having all the Kalyana Gunas, all the whatever glories which are there. In fact, Pujya Swamiji used to say, Ishvara can never be flattered, correct? Every human being can be flattered. You can go and say somebody is Indra, Chandra and all that, till the time he gives you some loan. You want some loan from somebody means you go and praise that fellow. Somehow try to get some money. Whether you have intention to repay or not is another thing. But at least first you want to get the money. So you can go and flatter somebody. You want some help. But Bhagavan also you can go. In fact, the best place to seek help is Bhagavan. But Bhagavan you can never flatter. So we have also like Atotra, Sahasranama and all that, correct? What is all that? This Tadvanam only, correct? We are praising Bhagavan because Bhagavan is Ananta Kalyana Guna Sampannaha. But Bhagavan can never be flattered because any flattery or any praise you give, in fact it is less only. It can never be more with reference to Bhagavan. Because Bhagavan in Vibhuti Yoga says, Yadyat Vibhuti Mat Sattvam Srimad Urjidameva Tattadeva Agachatvam Mama Tejomsha Sambhavam, he says. It is all not even a part. Whatever glory, wherever it may be there, whatever may have Shri or has some Shakti and all that kind of Urjidam. All this, it is there in anything, any glory which is there, any special quality which is there, any strength or whatever is there, all that, know that it is all only my Amsha. It is all only a small part of me. That is Bhagavan. So, this Bhagavan we have to bring in our life. Only then, because the whole thing you have to see as Bhagavad Niyati, order of Bhagavan. That's the only way you can accept this Srishti, correct? Otherwise, the Srishti itself becomes a problem because we are encountering the Srishti on a day-to-day basis, and if this Srishti itself is troubling you, you will not have the mind to focus on Vedanta, correct? So before even we study Vedanta, if you want to come and sit in the Vedanta class and focus, and still if you are worried about something, means it's not going to work. So we have to be able to first deal with the Srishti, accept whatever is happening as Ishvara Niyati, take whatever is coming as Ishvara Prasada. These are all very important. So how do we appreciate this Ishvara? Means through Upasana only we are appreciating this Ishvara. So this here Tadvanam Nama. So Tadvanam iti Upasitavyam. Itself, the Upanishad itself says this Brahman has to be done Upasana like this, as it is the most sought after, most attractive thing, correct? Like that. Now, normally whenever the Upanishad talks about any Upasana, it will also give the Phala immediately. Okay, that is very important because otherwise most of these Purva Mimamsakas and others, what they will say, this Upasana is the main thing here. Everything else which was said before and all was to only show because we are, see, any Upasana means we superimpose or we take some guna, correct, special guna, and say Brahman has this guna, and that's how you do the Upasana. Some guna is attributed to Brahman. That is how Saguna Brahma Upasana is done. And then the thing is whatever guna you are doing Upasana, correct, on, that Brahman is having this guna, the Saguna Brahma Upasana, that guna you yourself will get. That's how the Phala is given. But then the Purva Mimamsaka will say, no, even whatever was talked about Brahman before, is all only Arthavada, only to make you do this Upasana only. The Brahma Vidya itself was talked about. But that cannot be true. Why? Because the Brahma Vidya Phala has already been given separately. Understand that whenever a Phala has been given, that section is already over. So already it was said Amritaha Bhavanti and all that. Now you cannot say that that is now a part of this, correct? Otherwise, the entire Brahma Vidya, they will make it some Sesha Sheshi Bhava and all they talk about. But even after knowing Brahman, it is not enough. You have to go and do Upasana. Because whatever you learnt about Brahman, there is still something left, correct? Shesha means what? There is something left. And then therefore that Brahma Vidya you use in this Upasana and do Upasana, then you will get whatever Moksha is the Sheshi, let us say. But what we say is there is no Shesha. Brahma Vidya is complete in itself. Now all this Upasana are all talked about because Vidya Sadhanaya only. Understand that. Because why it is all talked about, we will see that. Because even after you study Vedanta, there is a Pramana. Veda Pramana is there, teacher is teaching. That means Pramana Vyapara is happening. Pramana is operating. There is no problem with the Pramana. Veda Pramana is supposed to be is the most defectless means of knowledge. Okay? Because it's a deliberate means of knowledge, it cannot it cannot deceive you in any manner. Even Pratyaksha can deceive you because it can show you mirage water, it can show you snake on the rope and all that. But Veda Pramana is the most defectless Pramana. It is a deliberate Pramana. Pramana is operating. And Atma Vastu also is always there. You cannot say Prameya is not there. Atma never goes anywhere. It is always there. And even whatever is being taught also, it's not about you having any new experience and all that. All the words used are words which you already know. Any experience which is alluded to make you assimilate this knowledge also is nothing new. Nothing other than the three states of experience which you already have is being talked about. You are not being asked to sit in some meditation and attain some new experience or anything. All you have to do is analyze whatever experiences you have already had. In spite of all this, still knowledge does not take place. Means then what? Where is the problem? Means the Pramata. Pramata is not ready. Pramata in this case is what? Samskritam Manaha. Samskritam Manaha means don't think that you have to know Sanskritam. But that also is true in some manner. Because Vedanta is taught in Sanskritam. If Sanskritam Manaha is not there, then some problem is there. But even Sanskritam can be taught, okay, that's not a big deal. Or Vedanta can be entirely taught in Tamil or English or any language also. Even language is not a big deal, understand that. Sanskritam here means what? It is well cooked. Pakwa, correct? It is well prepared. The mind has to be, Samskritaha means well prepared. The prerequisites have to be there. Then if it is not there only, now all these things we are talking about, correct? This Upasana, you do, okay, not only Upasana, later on they will also talk about what values and attitudes you have to cultivate. Those are all very important. So anyway, the Upasana here, you do this Upasana, correct? Tad vanamiti upasitavyam. Then what? Saya etad evam vedabhihi hainam sarvani bhutani samvanchanti. So the one who does this upasana in this manner, okay, saya evam means in this manner, etad,
in this manner.
So the one who Veda means he visualizes Brahman in this manner. Brahman as the most sought after and all that, most desired object. Then what happens? Indeed, that person is again sought after by all the beings, it seems. As the most, he himself will become like that. Like I told you, Sarvani Bhutani Samvanchanti means what? Everybody wants to be in the company of that person. Because Brahman, you do upasana that Brahman is the most pleasing, most sought after and all that. You yourself will become like that. The Upanishad is giving a phala also for the upasana. But the upasana itself, why you are doing as a mumukshu means only for chitta naischalya. Is that clear? Or in this case, from this tad vanam means even your daily puja and all is some sort of upasana only. Even in puja you have to do dhyanam, you have to do a dhyanam of your Ishta Devata. And then you are praising your Ishta Devata, or you do some japa connected to your Ishta Devata. All those things are the kind of upasana we can do now. So those things are important even for a mumukshu. Then what? Okay, next. Upanishadam bho bruhi ityuktva ukta Upanishad brahmi vava ta Upanishadam abruma iti. So now the teacher has taught everything. Then one student gets up, maybe the last bench, or he suddenly woke up, I think. He now says, Upanishadam Bho Bruhi, hey Bho, dear sir, teach me Upanishad. Okay. So Pujya Swamiji used to say that one musician went, it seems, and he was having a concert in one village. Then he did Ragam, Tanam, Pallavi means Raga Alapana is doing for 1 hour. Okay, Todi, nice Raga. Then he sang a Tanam and Pallavi also. Everybody claps. Then one person also is enjoying, sitting in the first row is enjoying the whole thing. Then he comes to him and says, this was great. Why don't you sing on Todi for me? Like that. So Upanishadam Bho Bruhi. Okay, here actually Bhashyakara takes it more charitable. He says the word Upanishad also has a meaning of secret or a secret name. Even in the Brihadaranyaka it is used like that. Okay. So Upanishad has another meaning. So the Bhashyakara says that the student is now asking, is there any more secret left? You can then still teach me. So we can take that view, I think, because all these students are all, let us say they are qualified students, because already some of them have said Manye Viditam. So some of them are already known. And then that student, even Indra and Agni and others also, they was also known. Some students already in the class also have understood this knowledge. So he is now asking, is there any more secret which is left? Because Upanishad has the meaning of secret. Then the Guru says, what he says, Ukta means it has been said. What has been said? Brahmi Upanishad. The Upanishad, Brahmi means Brahma Vishaya Brahmi. Okay, that is a Tadhita usage. So Brahmi is Brahma Vishaya. With reference to Brahman, whatever Upanishad are secrets, everything I have now taught you. The Brahma Vidya has been Vava, indeed. Vava means Avadharanarthe, means there is nothing left. Okay, I have taught everything indeed. Brahmi Upanishad Ukta Vava. Okay. And again he repeats that also. Upanishadam Abruma means I have already taught you everything, whatever is to be taught. The subject matter has been completely presented and everything that is there has been taught you. Even after this you don't understand. That is always a possibility, I told you, correct? So the Shruti is very, very compassionate and patient. Okay, now, so teacher has now said, okay, I have taught you the Upanishad. So again here, one more thing is why this, about this Upanishad teaching and all this being is said is, after that he doesn't say anything, correct? I have taught you the Upanishad, means with that only everything is complete, means there is nothing else to be done. Because in this pursuit, unlike karma, with karma what is the problem? Like I told you, just knowing how to go to Chennai is not good enough, correct? I have to then do that. So there is a knowing, knowledge is also required, but knowledge alone is not enough, you have to do. Now that is the modern Vedanta problem also. They say that even studying the Shastra, many of them accept, but that is only like a map. Okay, this map analogy is used, which is dangerous. So it is like Google map. You can see the Google map up front, but still you have to drive, correct? No, that is not the analogy we use. Because here it is praptasya praptam. Correct? Accomplishing the accomplished. The problem is only of ignorance. There is nothing to be done. Once the ignorance is gone, with that the Vidya itself is moksha for us. Although many times we say Vidya is talked about as a sadhana and moksha is talked about as a sadhya, but the sadhya is already siddha, correct? The siddha vishaya alone is sadhya here. Why does the siddha vishaya become sadhya? Means due to ignorance. Again we have to say ignorance is the only separation between me and whatever I want to achieve. That being the case, knowledge alone is the sadhana. There is nothing else to be done afterwards. But what we say, if the knowledge is still pratibandhita, means some hindrance is there. Hindrance can be there in terms of doubts and vagueness and all that. Even after that, hindrance can still be there. In fact, everybody who has clear knowledge of this Brahman is a jnani. There is no doubt about that. In fact, even some commentators say, whoever knows this clearly is a Videha Mukta already. Afterwards, any other sadhana or nididhyasanam you do is only for Jivan Mukti, correct? To immediately enjoy the jnana phala alone, this because the viparita bhavana is still there. Your day-to-day life may not reflect this vision yet, but that is not a big deal, understand that. You don't have to condemn yourself or anything. See, one problem with Vedanta is you have very high expectation about yourself, then you come to Vedanta. Vedanta says you are Brahman, you are the limitless and all that. And then you are analyzing your own self, then what is my behavior, what are my thought patterns. And sometimes you have a tendency to condemn yourself, but that's not correct. That will not work. In fact, ahimsa should start with yourself first. Don't do himsa with yourself. Before talking about ahimsa with reference to others, you have to be patient with yourself. You have to give a chance for yourself to grow into all these things. Nothing will happen overnight, or it's not an event, understand that. It is a process. It is like this day break, let us say, correct? Sunrise. When does it become day break? Means when does it become day? Sun is rising, initially it's all dark, completely dark. Then slowly you are having, when the sun rises, you get the light. But when does it become fully bright and all, you cannot say, correct? It's not just at some point or anything. Over a period of time, similarly it is a process of growing clarity. So you should have that patience with yourself. That is important. Don't condemn yourself. The other problem is others also will contribute to this. Why? They will say that, okay, you are attending 10 days, you attended this Vedanta camp, still you are the same. Means that all that also just bahyan sparshan bahih kritva, like that in Gita Bhagavan says, correct? sparshan bahyan bahikritva chakshushchayavantare bhruvo. Like this, bahyan sparshan bahikritva means what? Keep external things external. Don't take anything into yourself. And again start judging yourself based on whatever others are saying. They do not know what is happening inside you or what is your thought process and all that. Everybody is unique that way. They have no idea, they have no better job, means they may be. Everybody has an opinion about everything else in the world, correct? All their opinions and all, if it is helping you in some manner, it is okay, you can take it. But you don't have to take anything which is degrading you or which is just some uninformed, let us say, opinion. Correct? Whatever is uninformed, you just leave it, it is their opinion. You give them the freedom to hold that opinion also. Then you are free, you don't have to worry about all that. Everybody is free to have some opinion and all that. You don't even have to correct it. That is another useless time waste, correct? Most people are, no, you engage in some, no, I have to correct, that guy is having a wrong opinion about me. If he provided all the information is available, you should have already had the right opinion. In spite of that, they don't have the right opinion, means there is some problem with them, correct? You don't have a duty to correct anybody or anything. If somebody is ready to change and they come to you for some help and all that, okay, that's a different thing. You don't have to correct anybody or you don't have to seek any validation from anybody. So that way you should have a certain freedom and leisure. That alone will give you leisure. Otherwise, you are all the time fighting with others, correct? If not fighting also, but you are still reacting to others, which is all like you are only losing energy in all that, correct? Instead, all that energy you can put it into your whatever sadhana. You can at least listen to a couple of more classes. Today, everything is available in your phone itself. You can go to YouTube and see so many things are available. It's not that, at least in those days, or even when we did Gurukula Vasa, nothing was there. In fact, it was one way disadvantage, right? When we did Gurukula Vasa, there was no mobile phone, there was no internet also. Although internet was there world over, but in the Gurukulam and all that, nothing was there. There used to be one phone in the office, that's all. So even if somebody calls, and they'll just leave a message in the office, they'll have to come and find us and tell, okay, this news came and all that, something like that. That's all was there. Otherwise we didn't even know which day of the week it was most of the time, because there was a certain, see, even this camp we have so many classes, correct? Like this 3 years we were having classes only, understand that. So you cannot complain that there are many classes and all that. We used to have more classes, in fact. After all this Vedanta, you had a couple of more Sanskrit class also, correct? That was our day. So, like this, but that itself is a tapas, correct? That kind of a commitment is required. Then only this knowledge will stick, correct? The knowledge has to stick to you, it has to transform you, it has to become your nature. That's why here, anyway, the Upanishad now is talking about even if the knowledge is feeble, correct? Initially the knowledge is not powerful. That doesn't mean that the pramana is defective or anything, correct? The pramana and prameya are always available, but the pramata still requires some work. It's all work in progress. Knowledge is feeble, means you have to strengthen that. Even you are lighting a lamp, means we put some protection around that, correct? Like that here. So Upanishad Abruma. So Guru has finished, but still what? If the Shishya doesn't know, means now Upanishad itself, the Veda is so compassionate, it comes and give you sadhana further. What? Tasyai tapo damah karmeti pratishtha Vedas sarvangani Satyamayatanam. So Tasyai means what? For this Brahma Vidya, if you want to attain this Brahma Vidya, means even after sitting in the class somehow you still are not understanding, or you have understood but still it has not transformed you, means what? Then all these sadhanas are important. In fact, the same things are given as Sthita Prajna Lakshana also. One who has already attained it. See, whatever is the Sthita Prajna Lakshana is your sadhya, correct? Therefore, it becomes a sadhana. Whatever you do to attain all those qualities or values and attitudes, that is your sadhana. And what is that? Tapaha. So, tapas itself. So, how do we understand tapas? Satyamiti satyavachara thitaraha. Even in Taittiriya Upanishad it is said. But then, swadhyaya pravachaneti nako maudgalyaha tadhi tapas tadhi tapaha. So the Taittiriya Upanishad said that alone is tapas. What is that? Swadhyaya pravachana. Means swadhyaya. For Vedanta it is even more important. So every day you have to do some Shravanam. Shravana Manana Nididhyasanam you have to do every day. Swadhyaya is that. Swadhyaya means you have to study your own Veda.
Teach us.
And then teach also. Pravachana means you talk about it. Tat chintanam, tat katanam, anyonyam, tat prabodhanam, like that there is a verse also. See, whatever you learn in the class is only 25% they say. Another 25% you have to learn from by discussing with your fellow students. Another 25% you learn by again thinking about it and whatever, reflecting and using logic and all that. But then last 25% is over a period of time only the clarity comes, correct? Whatever it may be, it takes some time to assimilate everything. The clarity will come only over a period of time. Like this also it is said, it is true for every knowledge. In fact, it is even more true for this knowledge. So the tapas part can be taken as that every day you do swadhyaya, pravachana. Or Bhashyakara simply says this kaya vang manasaha samadhanam and all that. Tapas is nothing but because we are all so much engaged in activity, correct? But being active is okay, but being overly oriented towards the external achievements or accomplishments or objects and all that, sense objects, is not helpful, correct? For this pursuit, you have to be avritta chakshuhu, that is important. At least you should know what are all your priorities correctly and then reorient your day-to-day life also towards achieving those priorities rather than anything else. So that means there, this tapas means what? You have a certain discipline, correct? You have a certain regimen. Or if talking is a problem, then one day you do vak tapas, correct? One day mauna vratam. If eating is a problem, means do some upavasa. Because we have, if that is all already there for it is all in a platter, it is given to us in our tradition. If you are a Krishna Bhakta means whatever, or Vishnu Bhakta means Ekadashi and all you can take. If you are a Shiva Bhakta means Somavara is there, Pradosha is there. If you are a Ganapati Bhakta means Chaturthi is there. So everything, at least once in a week or once in a fortnight, you have to do something. And day to day also you have to lead a certain prayerful life and all that. So that is all tapas only, really. In fact, and damaha also, Bhashyakara says simply upashamaha. Means dama in general is said as bahyendriya nigraham and all that. Means, see, everybody, your mind's reaction and all is not going to change overnight again. But what you can still do is, even if you are overwhelmed emotionally, you do not You do not do anything which is inappropriate, correct? Behaviorally, at least you are trying to have a certain restraint. Your behavior you restrain. You don't emotionally do something later which you have to regret, correct? That is all a problem again. You do something and then you will have guilt. And you hurt somebody else, that fellow, and then he is also holding on to that, and again it becomes a problem over a period of time. So Dhamma, that way is also important, that we restrain ourselves in spite of mind being not restrained. Behaviorally, I restrain. I don't shout at somebody, or I don't do something which I myself regret later on. That is one level of Dhamma. And Shama itself, Shama means Antakarana Nigraham, we say, means what? Our Antakarana itself is resolved, means your mind itself is not anymore conflicted, or it's not becoming, it is not reacting emotionally. All that is included here in Dhamma. Okay, because Bhashyakara simply says Upashama, or Upashama can be even taken as Uparati also, that you take sannyasa. Also is one meaning given here for Dhamma. Means sannyasa means again you are actually withdrawing from all other activities, because sannyasi has only two roles. You are simplifying your life. Because otherwise everybody has so many roles. Every role has some duty. You have to do that. Kartavya is there. Whatever is to be done. You are a father means you have to take care of your children. You are a husband means you have a family. You have to take care of your wife. Sometimes not only your wife's family also. Okay, then or you have siblings are there, you have to take care of them, parents are there. So we all have so many roles to play, and each role comes with a certain Nitya Karma. In fact, Nitya Naimittika Karma, don't think it's only, Bhashyakara says here Karma means Agnihotra Adi, but Adi Pada is there. But even there I think Bhashyakara mainly means only Vaidika Karma like Sandhya Vandanam and Agnihotra, etc. That is because he assumes that other roles and all, the role-based duties are all like given, correct? In a Varnashrama bound society, they don't have to even explicitly say. But nowadays we have to include all that also. Whatever duties you have to do with reference to the roles you play, whether as a family-based roles are there, as son, brother, daughter, sister, whatever it is, spouse, parent. Then there are roles like employer, employee, etc. Then there are roles like citizen also, right? You are a citizen of a nation means you have to also you have duties with reference to that. So all these roles mean so many things you are doing. Then what? I don't have any time for Shravanam. Anyway, if you are serious, you will make time. That's a different thing. But how do we make time means I have to simplify my life. Means you have to give up certain roles. But sannyasa means what? You have given up all roles. You have only two roles. Either you are a student or you are a teacher. Sannyasi is not even a citizen. That is how it is looked upon in our tradition. Sannyasis in those days can go to any kingdom. They were always welcome. Of course, we didn't have passport, visa and all that. Technically speaking, a sannyasi cannot even take a passport. Nowadays, it's not possible. You become a sannyasi, but you still want to go to US means you have to take a passport, visa and all that. But sannyasi is really not a citizen, understand that? That role also is gone. That means they don't have any duties with reference to any of these roles. So then you can focus on whatever you want to do. So like that, anyway, here this Tapodhamah Karma is all about leading a certain disciplined life, doing your Nitya Karma, Naimittika Karma, all that you do. That is the Pratishtha for Brahma Vidya, it is said. Pratishtha means Pada, like that Bhashyakara says. Means Brahma Vidya itself is standing on this only, it is the support. Unless this is there first, Brahma Vidya cannot, if you assume Brahma Vidya is a whole person, this Tapodhamah Karma, these are its legs. Okay, then only it can even stand. It is supported by. And then what about other things? Vedaha Sarvangani means all other limbs are all whatever is said in the Veda. Veda itself is, the Karma Kanda also is important, because from there only you know even whatever your dharma, Veda is the Akila Dharma Moolam for us. And all this tapas, dharma, whatever, tamaha, karma, all these things also are based on the knowledge of the Veda. So all the Vedas, here it is completely we have to take. They are all the limbs. And Satyam is the ayatanam, it says. Satyam is the body or the abode. Satyam means truth. Here, Satyam means Vaimai in Tamil we can say. So this truth also is very important, because why the truth as a value is given is one value alone, it is a upalakshana again. Because Bhagavan talks about 20 things, correct? In fact, in this place, Bhashyakara says Amanitwadi only. He says that all the values mentioned, Amanitvam, Adambintvam, Himsak, Shanti, Rarjavam, Acharyopasanam, Shaucham, Stairyam, Atma, Vinigraha, Indriyarteshu, Vairagyam, Anahankara, Evacha, Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi, Dukkha, Doshanu, Darshanam, Asaktir, Anabhishvangaha, Putra, Dara, Grihadishu, Nityancha, Samasittvatvam, Ishtanishtopapatishu. Like this, you can count 20 are there. Okay. Etat jnanamiti proktam, Bhagavan says. Means, anena, you gain this knowledge by this, therefore they are also called jnanam. So these 20 values are all included by saying Satyam alone. Because if you have Satyam, all other values also have to come. It is like a train bogies. If you drag one, everything else also is coming along, correct? Because if you are committed to speaking the truth, means that itself is going to bring in all other values also. Because if somebody is not speaking the truth, means again it is only because of the ego and ragadvesha, correct? Ragadvesha only is driving you to say some lie and all that, or project some wrong image about yourself. That is all called damba, correct? Adamditvam and all is talked about even there. Amanitvam, mani also at least okay. Mani means you have pride with reference to whatever you have really achieved. But damba is like you don't even have anything, but you are projecting some bogus image about yourself. Totally, social media and all is totally that nowadays, correct? Everybody wants to become a social media influencer. That person only has so many problems, but he is projecting as though he is solving all your problems. But someday it comes out. Okay? So, this Satyam as a value, once you have, along with that, all other values also have to come. If you are truthful, and also Ahimsa also will come in that. Because many times when you lie, you are really hurting others only. But Satyam also we have to be careful. Satyam Bruyat, Priyam Bruyat, and Hitam Bruyat also is there, correct? All three we have to take into account. Even Vaimai enapadudu yadenin yadururkum Thimai ilada solal, like that. Tiruvalur also says, what is truth is that which is not harming anybody else. Okay? That's why Apriyam na bruyat is said. That's why even in the Manu Dharma Shastra also it is said Satyam bruyat, Priyam bruyat, Hitam bruyat. Like that, all these things are said. That we have, once we follow that value, automatically all other values will come. Because if you are saying Hitam means, then it is all Ahimsa also is involved in that. Ahimsa, Satyam, like that, then every other value will automatically come. So with all these values, they only are the body of this Brahma Vidya abode. With this only one gains all the prerequisites, correct? So if even after Pramana Vyapara, Jnanam is not taking place, then one has to focus on all these things, or this has to be done anyway, correct? Because nobody comes to Vedanta with 100% qualification and all that. It is impossible. It's not there. Understand that. So the listening to Brahma Vidya itself has to help you in gaining all these prerequisites also in one way. So that is the important thing. So Upanishad itself is giving all these things. So finally what? Yo va etam evam veda apahatya papmanam anante swarge loke jye pratitishthati. So with this the Upanishad is over. Finally it is again giving you the phala, jnana phalam, and it is giving in a word, in a manner in which even those who are very committed to swarga and karma and all that, they also will now understand what is the jnana phalam. What is that? So yova evam etam. So etam, whatever is presented here, evam veda. In this manner, the one who has known. Va means here again, indeed they have known it clearly, properly. Papmanam apahatya means what? They give up all papa. They destroy all their papa. Here means punya also is included. Understand that? It is not just papa. Both papa punya, dharma adharmam, they give up. How? Because they are no more karta. Otherwise you can never give up the papa or punya. You can never give up as long as you take yourself as karta. But here, one who has known this Brahman in this manner, known oneself as Brahman, means for him there is no more any papa. Means by saying this again, what is said is you are freed from the cycle of birth and death and all that, because the Shastra alone revealed that portion also. It has to release you from that. And then what? Where do you go? Means you don't go anywhere. It says anante loke swarge loke jye pratitishthati. So it is like, it is saying you will now be in the limitless swarga. All other swarga is all limited, correct? In the Shastra, whether it is in the Gita or in the Upanishads or in the Veda, what is said? Tad yat yatha iha karmachito lokakshiyate yad yata iha karmachito lokakshiyate. This world which you have gained due to your own karma, this loka comes to an end. Whatever you are there in this loka, your journey in this loka comes to an end. Similarly, what it says, tatha punyachito lokakshiyate. Punyachitaha loka, swarga also, which is gained only due to punya, that also will come to an end. Or Bhagavan says what? Kshine punye martya lokam vishanti. Once the punya is gone, you have to come back to martya loka. Abrahma bonal lokat punaravartino Arjuna. Starting right from Brahma loka onwards, every loka you have to return from there only. They are all punaravartinaha. You have to come back. Like this, it is all clear. But here it is said anante swarge, means this is the real swarga. It is like saying somebody is committed to swarga, but that is not real swarga. This is the real swarga. Like that, if you say only, it is very clear to them, correct? So Shruti is giving the phala like that. Anante swarge loke jye. Jye means it is the greatest again. Okay. There is Jye means there is nothing, it cannot be bettered. Because that is another problem. Whatever you say, there is one fellow will come and say, no, I will give you something better. There is nothing better than this. Okay, whatever you say is better, this is better than that also. Nobody can better this, because it is the limitless. Whatever you add to the infinity also, it is still infinity. Whatever you take away also, it is infinity. Okay. Purnamadaha, Purnamidam, Purnat, Purnamudachyate. You are already Purnaha, you are already complete. There is nothing to be bettered. Understand that? That is the vision here. So it is Jye, it cannot be bettered. And in that Pratitishthati, 2 times it is repeated, means the text is over. Whatever, this section is over. So we have finished the Kenopanishad. Every day you can do Parayana of this. It's a small Upanishad and everything is there in this Upanishad itself, correct? So once you do the Parayana, all this meaning also has to flash in your mind, hopefully. Otherwise you again miss it. Okay. Nothing wrong. So this Upanishad is very one of my favorite Upanishads because it is very clear in the way it teaches. Correct? It directly teaches Brahma Vidya and in a very concise and clear manner without any doubts or anything. Okay. So that way, this Upanishad, it has a very beautiful story also to actually, which reinforces all the teachings. Whatever was just taught, that is again easily fed to you so that you can assimilate through the story. So all that is there in this Upanishad. So hopefully this Upanishad has given you some clarity. Okay, that is the important thing. So we will continue. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.